we discussed about Agile Manifesto that we have four values. For the Agile Manifesto. That we have to convey the people that people are more important than the methodologies and the tools, and we have to change instead of following a strict plan, and then working version is preferred over the comprehensive documentation. Customer collaboration over contract negotiation is much better, because if we collaborate with the customer, that means we are having the software and successful software, plus we have the maintenance, we have the hosting, we have the service charges, we have the backup charges. There are 12 golden principles defined by the Agile Manifesto and the Agile Gurus, and you can find these principles over the website www.agilealliance.org. That we have to deliver the first increment in couple of weeks, and we have to satisfy the customer with the early release. Once we deliver the early release, he knows that I have selected the correct company and they are able to implement the Agile principles to get the benefit of the Agile methodologies and Agile practices. So satisfy the customer with the early release. And early release means deliver the first increment in couple of weeks, maximum 2 to 3 weeks. And not only the initial release, whole software should be delivered in releases in couple of weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, consistently. Like the Courier.com, I gave the example. They survived the 9/11 and they delivered the first increment in first week. And they promised the customer to deliver the remaining releases after every week. Not only the first week delivered, and after that, second late, third late. It was written as a mission statement of the company, goals of the company, that we promise you to deliver the first increment in first week, and every increment will be delivered in 1 week. And then when 9/11 thus settled down, IBM purchased Corio Inc. at the cost of $182 million. Agile team and customer has to work together throughout the completion. So that means there should be strong collaboration with the customer throughout the development, and that means we have to apply face-to-face meetings. Face-to-face meetings. So if there is any confusion, any ambiguity, that can be fixed immediately. It should not penetrate in the development and resulting in bugs. And then there are bugs, then you need to test, you need to maintain, you need to develop again and again, recycle. So this cycle should not be repeated. And face-to-face meeting throughout the software development. To have face-to-face meeting and Agile team, like we discussed in the previous principle, that you have to collaborate with the customer and face-to-face meetings. No telephonic call, no email, no WhatsApp, no intercom. Even the team members, they should have face-to-face meetings. That means Agile is talking about co-located teams, not about the distributed teams. No outsourcing. Welcome requirements even at the late stages of software development. Like you are at the testing level of one release and customer asks you to change the requirements. Don't say no to him. That I am at the testing level before the deployment and you are changing the requirement. Say yes, no problem. Previously we were agreed to deliver in 2 weeks, Now instead of 2 weeks, this is the new deadline, like 3 weeks. Instead of 2 weeks, I will deliver you in 3 weeks. This was the previous cost we agreed. This is the new cost. Customer is happy, you are happy. Trust and respect among our team members. Trust and respect in the learning environment is very important, because Agile is a learning style. It is an attitude to change yourself. When you are learning new techniques, new tools, new technologies, you can get help from your colleague. If you ask something to your colleague, he must not broadcast this news, BBC, CNN, Al Jazeera. For example, Dr. Ridwan asked me this thing. He doesn't know. Ultimately, it will come to you. After passing one person, second person, third person, it will come to you. Somebody will inform you that this guy spread this news about you, that you don't know this thing, and you ask him. It will discourage you to ask next time, to learn new thing next time. A barrier between you and that guy. You don't like this, that he spread this news among the whole team, or he went to the boss. Dr. Ridwan doesn't know this thing. To have bad impression or pull my legs or bad politics. Leg pulling. So in this way, this style is not healthy for learning environment. This is trust and respect. When you learn something from your colleague, he is like your ustad. He is like your teacher. And you should pay respect to him. You have seniors, you have juniors in the team. When we have meeting, we discuss our problem, and if one of our seniors or colleague is trying to help you to solve that problem, fix that problem, solution of that problem, we should not make fun of that. Ha ha ha. This is the solution. So next time, he will not tell you the solution. He will not try to help you, because he remember last time you made fun of him. I remember I was in Malaysia, and we have a hostel for the boys and for the people, students coming from other cities or from other countries. There was one guy from Kenya. His name was Nasser, I still remember. And he was in undergraduate, I was doing a master. So initially, he doesn't know about IT. He was not from IT background, so I was trying to help him when he has some problems or some questions. After a couple of months, when he was comfortable, then whenever I tried to tell him some solution, try to help him, he started making fun of that. That he tried to show me, I know more than you. It oversmart. So after that, once he started this style, this attitude, I stopped telling him anything. That you don't know, you don't need. You know already more than me, so why I try to help you? Same your senior will do. That you are trying to make fun of him, he will not provide you anything, he will not help you anything. So that will be demotivating, that will be discouraging the learning among the team members. So that's the trust and respect. Velocity of the project must be measured throughout the software development. After every release, check your planned schedule and actual schedule. Your planned cost, your actual cost. After every release. In order to keep track you are going in right direction or not. Now I gave example to my students that we have this Sirate Mustaqim. This Sirate Mustaqim is your planned budget, your planned schedule. And actually you are going somewhere like this. So I normally say it, I call it Shaitan path. This is Sirate Mustaqim, this is Shaitan path. If you don't measure your velocity, velocity is speed with direction. There is speed, acceleration with direction. Speed is acceleration without direction. But we are talking about velocity. That is the difference between speed and velocity. So you have to measure your velocity, your direction. You are going in right direction or you are following the shaitan path. If you are following the shaitan path, then you need to take corrective action to get close. If you don't, for example, this is your first release and this is your actual deadline, actual schedule, actual cast. If you don't correct yourself, rectify yourself, you will go further on the shaitan path. Like you are going to Medina and there is a turn, right turn to take towards the Medina road on Medina highway. If you don't take right turn, you will go towards the Tabuk. Alatul Sida, straight Tabuk. That means as you move towards Tabuk, you are going far from Medina. Your actual destination. This is our actual destination, Sirat al-Mustaqim. And you have to measure your velocity so you can take corrective action here to, instead of going in that direction, you start progressing towards the right direction to getting close to bridge the gap between the planned budget and the actual budget, between the planned schedule and the actual schedule. So you have to measure your velocity throughout. Emphasize on good design. Emphasize on good design to improve the quality. You don't have time, as I discussed as I covered in the last lecture when we were covering RUP, that you have so many UML diagrams, use case, class, sequence, state, activity. What software companies do, they design one or two diagrams, use case and class or sequence or class diagram only or use case diagram only or sequence diagram. But whatever the diagram you draw, whatever the architecture from the front end you decide, it should be complete and comprehensive. Like we discussed the example of Descom, Infosys, that I have covered. I have seen 2 pages of documentation for each use case, complete, and they don't have class diagram, no sequence diagram. Only the front page, complete use case diagram of the system, and for each use case, 2 pages of use case description, including the screenshot. Interface specs were also there. Programmer doesn't need to ask any question to the team lead or the project manager or the system analyst, what should I do? Because no time. Because Descom also has contract with the customer to deliver each release after every 2 weeks. So there are deadline of 2 weeks. You don't have time to go back and forth to ask questions, ambiguities, confusions. So that is the reason. One diagram but complete and comprehensive. Similarly for the backend, one diagram should be complete and comprehensive. So that will improve the quality of software, because high quality analysis means high quality design. High quality design means high quality implementation. Good design, good analysis, good design, good implementation. Bad analysis, bad design, bad implementation, bad failure, bad software. Best architecture and design are always developed from self-organization. Individuals and interactions over process and tools. This is one of the value of the Agile Manifesto. Prefer people, individuals and interactions. Individuals, self-organized people. Self-organized people means self-disciplined people. The people who used to perform their things in time, not even on time. Planned way, systematic way. Don't involve such team members who are messy, not the football player Messi. Messy means unorganized people. Like you go to their office, one file here, one file there, notes here, notes there. If you go to their bedroom, you will find one pair of socks here, one pair of socks there, towel on the bed, shirt here, bent there. So they are totally mess. You go to their room, you feel ugly. You want to stay away from that room. You don't want to stay there because it's not a clean environment, healthy environment. So such people never perform their things on time. It's a practice. So don't involve such people, but involve such people who are self-organized, self-disciplined people, who used to perform their things neat and clean and systematic way. You go to their room, you will find everything on its place. So they are creative people, they like healthy environment, they will be productive for you. And always, it's a practice, best architecture design always come from such people. So involve such people who are self-organized, self-disciplined. Adjust and tune, change according to the situation, as we talk about in the Agile Manifesto. Change over following a comprehensive plan. Change as per the requirements. Change as per the budget. Change as per the schedule. Change as per the resources, the team member. Change as per the technology. So change according to the situation. If customer is hard, some customers are very rigid. Some customers are like what is called angry. They have by nature, they are rude, they are weird. As per the nature of the customer, you have to deal with it. Some customers are very cooperative, some customers are very helpful. So according to that, you have to deal with them. So according to the psychology of the customer, according to the nature of the team members, according to the situation of the project, budget, schedule, requirements change, architectural change, design change. Change yourself. Adapt, adapt, adapt. Follow KISS principle. Keep it simple. Means simple architecture, simple design, simple code, easy to readable, easy to give feedback, even non-technical user. Some users are not technical, but if interface architecture is simple, even they can give you feedback. Or marketing guy, salespeople. Salespeople are not technical people. But if there is simple architecture, simple interfaces, they can provide you feedback to improve yourself. So in this way, I remember a case of Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs, when he had the idea of iPad, he asked his engineers to make it compressed small as much possible. So his electrical engineers, electronic engineers, they manufactured the laptop in the laboratory, and they went to Steve Jobs in his office that this is the smallest iPad we can prepare, we can manufacture. And there was a fish aquarium in his room. He threw that iPad in the fish aquarium, and bubbles start coming out of that. Bubbles mean there was hava. Then he said, that means there is space inside, so you can make it further smart. Go and redo. He was not technical guy, he was a graphic designer, but he had ideas like iPad, iPod, Mac, such ideas. Because of that, the Apple company was so successful now, and he has so many patents on his name. So non-technical guy even can give you feedback if there is easy architecture, easy design. So from this example, we can get some inference that non-technical people can provide you feedback because maybe he has better ideas. If it is difficult interface, difficult architecture means difficult to code. If interface is very fleshy and too heavy, it is difficult to code. to make, difficult to update, difficult to make changes. And if code is very complex, maybe you are not the guy to maintain that code. So if it is somebody else is maintaining your code, then he will find it difficult to update. If it is easy code, then it is very easy for him to update it or fix the bugs. So follow the case principle is another. The 12th principle, agile project need consistent work until completion. Before agile, software companies have a trend, a tradition in the companies that one member is working in more than one teams. They assign him tasks for more than one project, but he is working in multiple projects. But they are asking to have dedicated team, a new idea that one person will be allocated for one project. So he has only one project at a time till it completes. Then you can assign him another project. So that means because if he has dedicated project, he can concentrate on that. He can think about that. Because software development is such that even you are sleeping, if you have some problem, you are thinking over it. But if you have multiple projects, you cannot concentrate, you cannot focus. Because time is very limited. Couple of weeks, couple of months. So dedicated team, a new trend, new concept was used in software companies. These are the 12 golden principles of agile software development. Any question?
No.
Then, from these principles or agile manifesto, we can have a criteria to select the agile team. Competency. Only those team members who are highly skilled, highly specialized, they should be involved, senior people, no junior people. No junior programmer, no junior tester, no junior database designer, no junior architect, no junior configuration manager, no junior project manager. Senior, skilled, specialized, competency, highly skilled. Decision making. They have the capability to take independent decisions because they have experience, and based on their experience, they have the courage to stand by their decision, to take a decision and then stand by. Yes, I made this. If it goes wrong, they can take the responsibility. Yes, it's my mistake. But not for everything. You are going to your project manager or configuration manager or architect or the project manager. Shall I do this? Shall I do this? Shall I do this? This shall I do mean you don't want to take responsibility for anything. If something goes wrong, you can ask that you asked me to do this, so you are responsible, not me. It will take time to ask again and again. And sometimes you need to take spontaneous decision, right? Like during the coding. It's run time. You cannot ask, shall I try this logic? Shall I try this test case to test it? Or shall I make changes in the architecture? Is it necessary or it's healthy? Or what is the pros, what is the cons? You can take action on your behalf. You feel that you have the authority to take decision. That means give power, privilege, authority to the team members. Individuals prefer people, not only saying I prefer you, I respect you, I owe you. Give him trust, give him ownership. So he can take decision, and he can take decision in terms of taking the stand of negative and the positive both. And if something goes wrong, don't fire him or don't excuse him that you have done this, you have done. Because mistake is the first step, or failure is the first step of learning. If you don't try something, you will never learn. Because humans learn by mistake. This is our learning style. First time we do mistake, second time we do correct. If you don't know the failure, how you know the value of success? If you don't know the failure, how you know the value of success? So, You don't know if you are poor, how you know the value of money? Once you feel the need and then you feel the importance of that. If you do some mistake, something wrong, then you know how to do it correct. Next time you will not repeat that. So decision making, they should have the authority. Give them power to take decision as a team member. Not all power in your hand. So we have working style we call X and Y theory. X is also called push and Y is called pull. These are two theories for how to take work, strategies to deal with the teams. This push, you push the team members like construction, like physical work. Do it fast, do it fast, do it fast. Pressure, pressure, pressure. Y is for creative, mental work. Like software development is a mental work. It's not a physical work. Creative. You cannot push, so we use pull strategy. So this is best suitable for physical work. This is best suitable for mental work, like software development. Then management team is dependent on the management. Where team knows their responsibility. Here, management knows the direction. Management knows how to complete work. Here, team is skilled and responsible to complete. And management only knows the direction. So you just tell him we are going in right direction. Only knows the direction. By pushing, increase productivity in physical work. Increase productivity. And by in the pull, it will have, if you try to apply push, it will decrease productivity for mental work. Decrease productivity. So we are talking about decision making. Here team is taking the decision. Here management is taking the decision. Team knows how to complete the work. Management knows how to complete the work. And you are responsible for physical work. Here you are responsible for mental work. So demotivation. Push brings demotivation. Pull brings trust and respect. Ownership. Ownership. You feel it is my company because you have given trust respect that you can take decision, and you will not be excused, you will not be abused for doing something wrong, and you feel that it is my company. And in this way, when you have trust, respect, ownership, it will increase the productivity. But having push in the mental work will decrease the productivity. So we are talking about decision making, problem solving skill. The team member should have analytical skill and design skill. He can identify a problem and he can provide a solution, propose a solution of that problem. He can solve that. That skill should be there. If he has experience, then he has an analytical skill, analysis skill, and design skills. Common scope. They should have similar thoughts. Not everything say yes, 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 but they belong to same school of thoughts. They have synchronization. They can agree on common scope. It doesn't mean common scope mean if your team member is saying something, you say yes, yes, for everything, yes, yes. You don't never disagree on everything, anything. You never disagree on anything. You don't have your own opinion. But he is saying correct, I agree, no. That means you have so much synchronization that after some discussion, you can agree on common scope, common requirement, common architecture, common design. Sometimes some people have disagreement and they try to pull the legs of each other for everything, for anything, because you don't like him. You want to degrade him in front of the boss. So whatever the brilliant idea he will bring, you try to pull his leg. No, I don't think so. It's bad. You are trying to, or he did something well, you try to do something wrong with that idea and goes to the boss, it will have this consequence, this constraint. That means you don't want that boss will like him or he will be appreciated in the company, has the value in the company. So that people are bad people, negative people. Don't involve in the agile team. If there are some members which are such nature, exclude them from the team. Collaboration. They can coordinate, they can communicate strongly throughout the project. They have collaboration, coordination, communication skill. And this is when once they have same school of thought, same level, same synchronization. Trust and respect. As I just discussed, that they should have trust and respect each other. And self-organized means self-disciplined people. Because agile is more about attitude, more behavior. We also call agile BDD, behavioral driven development. BDD, behavioral, it's a more attitude, more behavior. So self-organized means self-disciplined, and such people are also curious, anxious to learn new technologies, new tools. They are not reluctant, they are not hesitant to learn new technologies, new techniques. I remember one of the cases of a company, a Australian company, it's real estate .com.au. We discussed for America, this for Australia. This company has 1,000 employees. And they were using traditional methodologies. RUP, waterfall, RAD, spiral, something customized. Out of the 1,000, few employees went to the project manager that we want to apply agile. methodologies, agile principles, agile practices. He said, okay, go ahead, but show me improvement after applying as compared to the traditional methodology, and then go ahead. And he asked them apply a cycle collaborate. Collaborate means strong communication, strong coordination. Strong communication, strong coordination. Collaboration improve delivery, improve and both should be reflected release by release. Release by release. Collaboration, improvement in collaboration, in communication, in coordination should be improved release by release. How much less time you need to coordinate, need to communicate. How much is the quality of delivery is improved release by release. It should be reflected with less number of bugs, less errors, less defects. Then go ahead. Yes, 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 yes. After a few months, out of 1,200 team members, 200 employees are transformed from traditional to agile. Nobody forced them to switch. Management did not push them to switch by their own, because they want to implement, learn new technologies, new techniques. So it's attitude. They have the attitude to change, because you always feel hesitant to switch from the traditional style you are working with, because agile style is totally different. Traditional plan driven development is different than the agile development, because agile deadlines are there, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, continuous meetings, coordination. You have to work like gin, pressure, stress. But in traditional style, you take 6 months to do planning, 6 months for analysis, 6 months for design, and then you have to do the testing, coding, testing, maintenance. Here, you are from months, you switch to weeks. From weeks one, you move to days. So months are changed to weeks, weeks are changed to days. So you have to change your working style. And people always, especially senior people, always hesitant to change, to learn new technologies. I remember this case, 200 members are transformed. Another company in Australia, when management forced them to change from traditional to agile, after a few weeks, there was no release. Then they called agile coach from USA. What's wrong? There is no delivery. There is no successful implementation. He interviewed with the people. He said, you hired wrong people. They don't have attitude to learn new technologies, new techniques, new principles. They don't want to apply agile. So you can't be successful to implement agile or such team, because they are not curious to change. You have to be curious to change. You from inside, not gunpoint. By your will, it was missing. So collaboration, trust and respect, self-organization should be there, then involve such team members. And sometimes people say cross-functional. Self-organization, cross-functional. Cross-functional mean programmer can work as a database designer. If database designer left, database designer can work as a tester. tester can work as a configuration manager can work as an architect, multi-skilled. You can have multiple roles if it is required. Because in Agile, you don't have time that you start the hiring cycle. So you have to bridge the gap if some person resigns. Because you don't have lifetime contract with anybody. Company even doesn't have lifetime contract with any employee. Or employee can leave any time. So because they got better offer, better position from another company, they gave 1 month notice, thank you very much. If senior people, 3 months notice, thank you very much. So you don't have time to start the hiring cycle. So meanwhile, you have to do the role of that missing person. And that is only possible once you have cross functional team. Then you can have the skill to play the role of the leading person. Any question?
No.
Then we have XP, Extreme Programming, Scrum, ASD, DSDM, Crystal, Agile Unified Process. XP was very popular in early 2000. Extreme Programming. It has 4 phases. Plan, design, code, test. What is missing here?
The customer is not
Analysis is not there.
analysis.
Is missing. There is no analysis phase. How come? Some of the analysis activities we are doing in planning to speed up the process. Some of the activities of analysis we are doing in design. So they split the analysis phase in planning and design to speed up, to save the time and cost. It's not that we are not doing analysis. So you communicate with the customer, initial use cases, you already covered in 250.
Yes.
So it should be in your knowledge that we are doing, but half of the activities in planning, half of the activities in design. Initial use cases, feasibilities, risk assessment, request the customer to split the function if an increment is consuming more than 3 weeks, because 2 weeks is the deadline, couple of weeks, couple being 2 to 3. Feasibility and risk assessment again. Function with high index value. We ask the customer to provide an index value with each requirement. Prioritize first requirement, second requirement, third requirement, list like array. Function with high index value are first, or function with high risk value. So if there is a risk, we deal with that story early. We call stories in Agile. With high, so if there are some problems, it can raise early instead at the later stages of the development. Velocity of the project is measured after each increment. New requirements are entertained at the end of planning. Even you finish the planning, if customer asks to change the requirements, say yes. In design, use case and class or sequence, as I just mentioned. Prototype to finalize the interfaces. Design is generated after coding. We can generate design even after coding, doing re-engineering, reverse engineering. Like you do, change the code because of the requirements change. Then I have the re-engineering tool. From the re-engineering tool like Star, UML, Natural Growth, you can generate the design later on to save the time, cost, effort, and resources. Prepare test cases before coding. Test cases, this is another trend, new trend in Agile, in software development. Normally we do test cases, we prepare test cases after code. But Agile is saying, prepare your test cases first and then code according to the test cases. So we are not testing the system with 1, 2, 3, ABC. We are testing the system with actual data our customer is using. to identify bugs early with the real-time data what customer will actually enter in the system. So that's the another trend. Unit integration system acceptance tests are performed, maintained, and there is a possibility you can have multiple teams. So instead of one release, you deliver 2 releases or 3 releases at a time. Like realestate.com for America, the great project. Customer asks them to deliver 1 release after 2 weeks. So the company Descon, they hire 4 teams in parallel. So instead of 1 release, they deliver 4 releases after every 2 weeks. 4 teams parallel. They are working on different parts of the project, different modules of the project. Because it's an ERP system. So each team is working on one independent module which is a system. But customer committed them in the contract, in the act, 1 release after every 2 weeks because they already suffered because of Indian company Infosys. So now instead of 1 release, they are delivering 4 releases because they have 4 teams in parallel. So that's a possibility. Then Agile, in XP there are some practices, unique practices which were not present in software development. There is a technique called planning poker technique. Any idea about planning poker technique?
Everyone
Raise a card.
raise a card.
Yeah.
Yes.
We have poker game, card game. It's the same like we have cards. Each person has a card from 1 to 21, odd number of cards. 21 because 21 maximum days, 3 weeks. So the project manager will discuss one story. You have team members. Each person has cards from 1 to 21. So project programmer raise card number 7. Project manager asks him, why do you think 7 days or 7 story point is required to complete this release? Configuration manager raise card with 9 story point. Why do you think 9 story points? Database designer say 5. He raises his card with 5. Now you explain why 5. So they repeat this exercise till they agree on common story point, like 7. Then next story. Till, for example, 21 is the maximum. Till 2 or 3 stories are agreed in one release, meeting over, planning poker technique meeting is finished. Then next release, again planning poker technique is applied. Small releases, because you have maximum 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 2 story points, 3 story points for one story, okay. So you have small releases instead of covering large. Easy to code, easy to test, easy to maintain. Metaphor. Any idea about metaphor? Metaphor means abstract design. Oral architecture, oral. Or you have short terminologies for the architecture of the system to explain to each other. Like for example, abbreviations or terminologies, customized terminologies, so you can have discussion instead of covering the large. So it's a abstract for the other people, but as a team you know what you are talking. Oral architecture or verbal terminologies, smart terminologies for such things, too easy to explain, and you can have explanation for each other if something is not clear, so you can discuss with each other verbally, orally. So that's the abstract metaphor practice. Oral architecture, verbal terminologies, abstract design. Simple, KISS principle. Simple design, no flashy interface, no heavy content. So easy to load, easy to code. TDD. What is the meaning of TDD? I already covered. Test driven development.
Test driven development.
We also call it test first development. You have test classes first, then you code. So you will test according to the test classes, and you are using automated tools, automated testing tools like NUnit for .NET, JUnit for Java, PHP unit for PHP, for unit testing, fitness, for integration testing, and then NCover for code coverage, automated testing tools to speed up the process of testing, to save the time, cost. Instead of manual testing, you use automated testing tool and use code coverage tool, so you are sure you have covered 100% code. You have tested 100% code before you ask the customer to test. That is the test-driven development environment. And you are using the automated testing tools, and you have test classes before you code. So you code according to the test classes, according to the test data to pass it. Refactoring.
I don't know.
We have code refactoring and we have data refactoring. Improve the code without changing the design. And design, that data refactoring, design refactoring. Improve the design without changing the code. Code refactoring and design refactoring. For example, you are doing code runtime, customer is waiting. So it's messy and your logic is not optimized. So you later on, you can change the code, improve the code with the optimum design, optimum algorithm, and same your design. You can generate the design after the code, and then you can improve it, but you will not touch the code. So design refactoring and code refactoring. Pair programming I already covered. Pair programming.
I don't know.
Two persons work on one machine. Pair. Two persons work on one machine. One will code, other will design the test classes, test cases. And you are not the best person to test your code. You will not find mistake in your code. But when second person will read your code, he can suggest you, like 2 minds are better than 1. 1 plus 1, 11, we normally say. So he can suggest you something better algorithm, better logic if you are stuck up somewhere. And it is the practice when you are writing code for the one release, he is preparing test classes, he is thinking about the test classes of the next release. And then once you finish the code, he will test it. And this cycle is continuous till the release is delivered. And then project is completed. So pair programming, 2 persons work on one machine. It has some pros and cons. If they have same school of thought, it's productive. If they have conflicts, leg pulling, it's not productive. It's unhealthy. Because they will try to pull the legs of each other and there will be no progress. Objective is to have faster, better, improve the things, but it will not improve the situation because they are continuously fighting with each other.
Yes.
So pair programming works only on those companies when the pair are friends and they have same school of thoughts, same mental level, they are synchronized with each other. Code ownership. Collective code ownership means there is always one owner of the code. Who writes the code? Author of the code. There are three approaches in the code ownership that anybody can suggest. That once you complete the code, you will integrate. Continuous integration. Continuous integration is the next practice. As you complete your code, test it, integrate in software configuration management tool like we have VSS, SVN, and we have GitHub. GitHub is the distributed configuration management tool. So even distributed team can see the code completed by another team at different locations. As you complete your code, you integrate. Once you integrate, anybody can see and can improve the recommendation, suggestion that this code is, this logic is not optimized, is not correct, it can be improved in this way, this algorithm can be improved, or this is the better algorithm, this is the better logic.
Yes.
Anybody can suggest, only the code owner, author can change.
Yes.
Another approach in software companies, anybody can change. Once anybody will change, then he will become the code owner for that portion. Like Linux is open source. If there is some bug, anybody can fix that all over the world. Then it will be registered copyright against that person that this bug is fixed by X, Y, or Z. There is a licensing authority, there is a controlling body for license, Linux. Same here, in the distributed configuration management tool, once you change something, then you become the code owner of that code. You make change. Now, you are responsible if this code is working or not working. Previously it was working, but now you make changes because you don't like that guy. Now it's not working. So you have to take the responsibility. You have to mention the reason of change, why I made change. And then you are responsible to test it, maintain it, and integrate again. Third approach, anybody can suggest, but code owner can accept or reject. Any team member can suggest, okay. But code owner has authority to reject it. No, my code, what I have done it, it's good. It works best in this requirement, in this story, in this situation. So there are three approaches for code ownership. On-site customer. Customer must be present at the location of the software company. It is not possible that customer be present at the software company every time. He has to do his own business. He is not free that, or he will send one of his team members, one of his employees, work with the software company for 3 months or 4 months. If it is extended to medium project or large project, then what was his actual duty for which he is hired? He is hired to do something, but he is helping the team to work to complete the project. It doesn't mean he will not complete his own task, his own job responsibility, his own job description. So what solution as software companies has? Software companies have the solution. The project manager will have double role. He will go to the software customer side as project manager, and he will deal with the team as his customer, because he will go to the customer side to deploy, and team will not be present there. So he is responsible for correct requirements or wrong requirements, correct requirements are implemented or not. He will deal with the team as customer is dealing. So we have a new terminology, we call him product specialist. Product, double role. Product specialist as a double role, as a representative of customer and as a member of the team. In Scrum, we call it product owner. So, this on-site customer practically not possible. That customer be present at software company site throughout the development. No, practically it's not feasible. And you have to follow the coding standards. For example, indentation in the code, like if, else, if. So you have curly bracket, you close curly bracket in front, at the bottom, and then close the curly bracket. So what you open? So this is indentation, the next else. So you have, like we call it, like class, you open, then the class you close. The indentation in the code should be there. Code must be readable, and you should have comments on the code. Comments on the code, because maybe you will leave the company and somebody else will fix that code, update that code, maintain that code. So there should be comments, and code must be readable, understandable to make changes in that. Because agile is change, and that's natural as per the business strategy. Customer requirements will change, business requirements will change. So you have to make changes in the software, update. So code must be readable, understandable. There should be coding standards, comments on coding should be there. These are the main XP practices. Any question up to here?
I have a question about on-site customer. If the product specialist can't deliver what the customer really wants, maybe it will affect the project.
Yes, but the problem is that you don't have time, and you cannot ask the customer to send one of his employees to be present at the software company site for 3 months, 2 months. So you must have some solution. So he must be so skilled, so specialized that he can collect correct requirements from the customer, and you have 2 weeks, 3 weeks. If there is something goes wrong, you can rework it, improve it, and then you can deploy it. And with your experience, because you are skilled enough, competent, skilled, specialized in your field, senior, you know, you can smell it, what customer wants. And that is the reason we are asking to have collaboration, coordination, communication with the customer, face-to-face meetings,
Yes.
to clear any ambiguity.
Yes.
Anything goes wrong, you can rectify correctly. Because change, because you are human, you are not angel, that you will not do any mistake, you are not robot, you are not machine. You can do mistake, but you can correct immediately. And that's natural. But it should not happen again and again. Otherwise, customer can cancel the project and sue you in the court, file a case against you. Any other question?
No.
This is the description, planning poker, SMART releases, metaphor, how an abstract design is oral architecture and oral terminology, verbal terminologies, paper design, automated testing tools, manufacturing, design manufacturing, pair, code ownership, continuous integration, on-site customer, coding standards, advantages. Complete software within couple of months, and best suitable for small projects. Maintenance contract will bring money, because in couple of months you deliver, after that customer has to maintain that. So maintenance contract. Hosting charges, like I gave example of ASP, application service provider. You will host, backup, security, early increment, early payment. You can hire more resources. Disadvantages: not suitable for medium to large projects. Why not? Not suitable for medium to large?
Because medium and large projects need to be analysis and
Strong analysis, strong
Strong.
design, better architecture, better design, stable.
stable. Yes.
Outsourcing, why not is possible?
I don't know.
Outsourcing means any third party will do for you. Like you are the customer, I took project from you and I gave to another company. Then I will become customer for that company like Descon, Infosys. Descon, Infosys. For this project, realestate.com, realestate.com, the great project. Project name create. When customer asks them to change the business logic from C# to Java Versata, and there was no Java programmer in the company, and it was business logic suite introduced early 2000, and the project manager Mr. Khavar called me early morning 7-8 a.m. that you know any company who is implementing Java Versata. I said what? I also heard first time. Then I checked my students working in different companies throughout the day. I called them. Even they say what? Then Descon has to outsource from US company because half team was in Pakistan, half team was in US. So US team tried to find some company in US. They found it. Then they have outsourced.
Takes more time.
But no choice. You cannot say to the customer we don't know.
Yes.
Then you will lose the project.
Yes.
You will cancel the project. If they can cancel with Indian company, they can cancel with Pakistani company as well. It's not a big deal for them. So you have, but meanwhile they hire Java programmers, they start training them for Java Versata, and from outsourcing company they switch to in-house after a couple of months. Because it was ERP system large project, so they have enough time. So 3 months they are enough comfortable with Java Versata, they Java programmers, and then they switch from outsourcing to in-house. But in outsourcing, there is no direct customer meeting with the development team because you are in between. You are collecting requirement from customer, then it is taking no time. In small project, couple of months, you don't have time for outsourcing.
Yes.
So it's not suitable for outsourcing. Same for distributed teams. It takes much longer time than co-located team. Single location instead of multiple location. Twice as slow. Distributed teams are twice as slow as co-located teams. Double time. Because coordination, communication gap.
Okay.
I remember the case of Nokia company. They are Finland-based company, and their designers were in Finland and programmers were in China, Beijing. Beijing is the capital. And the designers changed the requirements because of the customer's interaction, and programmers don't know that designers have changed the design. They complete the code as per the previously agreed design, and once they complete, they know design is already changed, and there was delay. And then they call agile coach from USA, Alistair Cockburn. What is the solution? He said either you move designers from Finland to China, or programmers to move to Finland,
Because
from distributed team to co-located team. So they moved their designers to China, problem fixed. Because they are at the same location. I remember another case of my student, his name is Usman. He was working in one of the top companies in Pakistan. Its name is Technologies. Technologies. It's old company and one of the top companies like NetSol. Systems and Technologics. These are top companies. He was working in Technologics. And there was a problem. Customer was in USA. And when we have night, they have day.
Yes.
You cannot ask the customer to work in the night. Of course, you have to change your time as per the customer's time. So Usman and his team were used to come in evening, 5 p.m., 6 p.m. when there is day starting. There is 10-hour difference. But the testers were working in the morning. Testers were working in the morning. So there was delay because once they finished some code and they left early morning and then tester came 9 a.m. or 8 a.m. After that he started testing and made some changes, commands, and they fixed those changes. Again he made some other changes. So there was not coordination, there was not communication, collaboration. And one day boss was very unhappy. He called Usman to come early morning and he shouted, and they have posters, like you can see the posters of completed projects in corridors.
Yes.
Same there were posters. So Usman project was, a poster was also there. He knows it is done, it is controlled by, lead by Usman, but intentionally he shouted, who is doing this, blah blah blah. Why not completed? Why there is a delay? Why there is a delay? So after that he called, he said, yes sir, I am doing this. Come to my office. What is the problem? Why? He started. It's embarrassing for my student Usman because he was a senior guy there. He has his own team. Then he said, sir, we are facing this problem. Tester is working in the day and we are working in the night. When we fix something, next day he suggests something else. We fix that, he suggests something else. Ask the tester, give me 1 or 2 testers to work in the night. Within 1 week they will be released. I promise you. He said, okay. So he asked 1 or 2 testers to work with this team in the night. Within 1 week release was there.
Why?
Because direct coordination immediate. What are the problem? Immediately fix it. Because now he is sitting with them to fix whatever he wants. You are thinking something else, he is thinking something else. Once you have discussion, clarity, what he wants, do it now. Fix it now and ask him, okay, approve it. Because he was not approving the release to deliver to the customer. Quality assurance guy, tester was not approving. If he will not approve, you will not release. So you ask him, whatever the reservation you have, fix it, we will fix it now. Approve it. Okay, approved. Done. Release. Gone. And meanwhile, he found a job and he went to the boss after successful release. This is my resignation, thank you very much. I'm leaving because you insulted me in front of other team members. I feel embarrassment in front of the team members, in front of my team. Oh, time is up. Any question about today's lecture?
No.
Okay, we will continue inshallah from here. The disadvantages almost we have completed. Assalamu alaikum.